Hello there, welcome back to ADOBE. Today we'll see a really simple but it's really beautiful animation. Let me just show you. Okay. It's really really simple. It's basically a number of shape layers with a circle on it, and if you see if you see the circle in the center, it rotates in random axis or in random values, and the rotation delays from the center to the end, and that's the logic, or that's the key behind this animation. So say in the beginning, it's here, and now when it moves to the opposite way, you can see the rotation kind of delays from the center to the outermost edge. So it's just done by using expressions. So let's go ahead and do right away. So you don't have any layer yet, so let me just create a new ellipse tool, create a new shape layer, and have a nice circle, and you can see the contents here. Go to you don't need any fill, so let me delete the fill. Go to stroke, create a stroke width, set on 5 or 3 should be fine. Let me see, yeah, that should be fine. And go to the transform ellipse, make sure you put it in 0, so it's exactly is in the center of the comp. Now let's go to ellipse path, and basically all you need is just a circle. So you can pretty much use the generate circle here. Generate, you have a nice circle here, you can use that, it doesn't matter, all you need is just a circle. Or you can import from Illustrator if you're just feeling if you need to, something, I don't know. But yeah, let's go get back to the ellipse path here. Unselect the link so you can have X and Y. Make sure it's uniform, so let's make 100 and 100. So just got a basic circle, so it's kind of big for right now, so let me just put somewhere around 20. That should be our center circle or center object. So now you need to have a bunch of shape layers. So if we duplicate it, you get a bunch of layers, but every shape layer has the same circle, like all the circle has the same radius, so you need to change it. So what you want is for every new layer you add, you need it should automatically increase the size of the ellipse. So we can just use a really quick expression for that. So let me alt click it, and let me type index is the layer, the index of the layer in the composition. It's just see, you can get the index number here. So basically the index of this layer is 1. So multiply the index by 20. Cool. Well, actually, okay, this is a good thing. I always do this, but if you look at this, it has 2 dimensions, X and Y. So let me just, as it is a circle, both X and Y are the same. If you need an ellipse, then you gotta have different values. But So let me just call it X and put both the values as X. So what it does is it specifies both this and this as the same X and X. So now if you duplicate it, you see you get a really nice, concentric circles with different radii. So that's the basic way to create a bunch of circles. Let me delete all of those circles. Now you need the circle actually to rotate on an axis. So to create that, let me type in F4, make it 3D. Now, as you can see, I lost the circle because I'm in the top view. So let me go ahead and put active camera, so it kind of does. Make sure you have the right view. I always get confused. Add a new camera. Actually, okay. Just any settings will work. Make sure the camera is always in the bottom of the composition. Make sure you don't put the camera on the top, because all the expressions are based on the index of the the layer. So if you have the camera, it kind of obstruct it. The expression just won't work. So make sure you have the camera in the bottom. And look, if you see, if you change the camera, now the index of this layer is 2, so you see a bigger circle. Now if you put it back, now you see a small circle, because it all depends on the index number here. Okay, now you want it to rotate. Say you want it on the Y rotation. So you just need to have random rotation values. You can just have random rotation values. So just to do that, I'll click wiggle. Say 2 times per second. Or no, that's too much. Say you need to wiggle like every 2 seconds. So let's put 0.5. So it wiggles every 2 seconds. And put somewhere around 200 degrees. That's a lot, actually. Cool. Now you have a nice rotating circle. Now, if you duplicate this, as you can see, you have different circles, or different layers rotating at different wiggle values. Because the wiggle values change based on the index again, so everything has like a different value, and it's just not what you want. So let me delete everything. Okay, now you have the first layer. So you want every layer to have the same wiggle values. So just duplicate this layer. Let's put just so that, you have 1, 2 in order. Okay, now let's go back to rotation. So you want this layer to have the wiggle values of the first layer. That's the first layer of the composition. So I'll just go type in this comp dot layer. Actually, you know what? Let me just delete this. Just quick flip this thing to the Y rotation. And remember, never use the layer names, because you may remove the layer and add a different layer. Add the same layer, but the name is not consistent. So just put the index of the layer. What the index of the first layer is obviously 1. So so whenever you change that, even the rotation of the shape layer 2 changes too. So let me duplicate this. Okay, now we got a really cool rotating concentric circles, but everything rotates at the same time. You really don't want to do that. You want a delay. So let me delete all the layers again. Actually, except the first layer. So let me duplicate that. So you have 2 layers, shape layer 1, shape layer 2, and again you have 2 wiggle values. So to change that, what exactly I'm going to do is say, let's pick with this to Y rotation. Now again, make sure you remove the names, because sometimes you just don't get names properly. Say you change the layer or something, you just get screwed up. So let's call this X. So now this is the most important step. So we need a delay. So we need the value of its rotation, say a couple of if say a couple of fractions of seconds before. We need the rotation value of the first layer, so that we kind of get a delay. So we have a beautiful expression in After Effects that gets the value of any property at a certain time. That's the value at time. Value of time. Say the current time minus, say, a fraction of a second. Say 0.1. Okay. Now let's say X. Now, as you can see, you see a really minor delay. Look, say in the beginning, when this thing moves, the second layer follows the first layer, but it has a minor delay. So suppose you duplicate this. All the layers have the same delay, but we don't want that. We want every layer to have a delay to the layer before. So let me just delete this. Delete all except, okay, we have 1 and 2 again. So you want the delay to change for every layer. So the best way to change the delay is increasing the delay from layer, first layer to the last layer. So the first layer here has the minimum delay, and the last layer has the maximum delay. So the best way to do is just multiply by index. So as the value of index increases, the delay increases. That's actually, the essential trick of this method. Now, as you can see, I already got a really cool. Let me go to the camera just to show you. Look, you have a really cool animation where the circles have a delay in the rotation. You can apply the same to, say, X rotation, or I just apply it to Y rotation because it looks good, but you can try it with Z, X, a combination, the position, or anything, and trust me, it looks great. So yeah, we got our cool, so you can just animate the camera the way you want. You know, you can just go crazy. But you know, I like wiggling the camera a bit, so let me just add a wiggle, so you don't worry about constant camera moments. Actually, my bad. I don't know where it took me. Cool. Wiggle. Say you need 0.2 times a second in a span of 400 pixels. Now you get really cool. Now the number of layers are a bit less, so you can always duplicate them. So just duplicate. You can get as many layers as you can, and trust me, it looks amazing. So that's basically how I created the effect. Now for the background, it's just, let me create a new comp. Okay, let me input comp 3 here. Background is just, let me have a nice solid. Put in the back. Effect. Generate advanced, foreground gradient. It's actually pretty easy. It's a beach sand color palette. Say you want this to be somewhere here. This one a little bit darker. A little bit yellowish. You can just, you should probably just mess around with the palette. And put it a little bit here. And change this to overlay. So yeah, that's pretty much how I did that. It looks amazing. And let's go to add a little bit more fun. Let me just create this point and wiggle this. I love making things wiggle. Say 400. Actually, 1 time a second is a lot. So let me just put like 0.2. So you can get a really nice moving background. Yep. So have a great day. Hopefully you had fun watching.